Y'all know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Blow the Whistle with your host, Coach Walker. Now, guys, if you're new to checking out these shows, I need y'all to do me a huge favor. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and tap into this show. I normally drop these shows on Tuesday and Thursday. There's been a little backlog going on, so I've been trying to make sure I get everything together to give you this content that just have me scratching my head sometimes. It should have you scratching your head as well, trying to figure out, like, what in the heck these folks thinking about? You know, are they really even considering some of the things that they're doing? Some of this stuff makes sense, while oftentimes it leaves you wondering, like, okay, are we just making moves to make moves? What exactly we got going on here? And I know one thing for certain. Some of these topics that we're going to talk about today going to have you really wonder, like, man, where is the love? And not only that, but, man, you got folks out here in these NIL sectors losing their mind with these demands they got going on. I mean, guys, it's going to blow you away. When you got an athlete that can demand from a coach what they want and tell them, hey, look, if I ain't getting it, I'm going to get in the portal. Boy, stop. Boy, we couldn't do this when I was playing ball. I'm like, hey, coach, hey, man, you don't let me get 3 water breaks and be able to sit out 10 plays, man. I'm going over to the rival school. Coach be like, hey, son, drop your equipment, get your tail up out of here right now. I don't even need you. That's the type of time they'd have been on. But the crazy thing is, man, you got folks upset with the NCAA and they suing they behind. Not only that, man, you got Eddie George out here making moves. So there's a lot to unpack in this thing. But you know what? Coach Walker ain't going to go ahead and stall out on you guys, trying to keep you from the information, because he want to make sure he go ahead and give you everything that you're looking for. But, you know, we got a couple of tidbits that we're going to drop in there here and there, because we got some folks out here in this sector that's just acting a plumb daggone fool that don't make no sense sometimes. Because, you know, no matter what you do in life, it's going to be some folks that like you. It's going to be some folks that don't like you. And you got to understand just how everything goes and navigate accordingly. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not their cup of tea, cool. Ain't no big deal. You just bust a move. Just do what you got to do and keep it moving. You feel me? But guys, let me tell you something. I enjoy doing these episodes. Again, don't forget to leave your audibles. Let me know, you know, your comments, you know, certain things that you want me to give a response to. We're going to start doing that. I got a couple I'm still holding on to. I'm trying to, you know, build it up to get a couple of more so we can go ahead and put it together and put it out there and make part of the show with things that you guys, you know, thoughts and, you know, questions that you might have that you're looking for answers to, that, you know, you want to hear from Coach as far as, hey, Coach, what's your thought on this? So again, don't forget to leave your audible in the comment section. Make sure it's audible, and then whatever it is that whatever it is that you want to ask, or the question that you might have or whatever have you, make sure you leave all of that there so we can go ahead and get into it. But, I will tell you this. There's a lot of chaos going on in sports right now that just have me wondering what's really happening. And, before I get into that, let me make sure I remind you guys of this. Hey, we're headed to 12K on our way to 20. Come on, guys. Let's go ahead and make sure y'all tune in, tap in, a friend of a friend, tell them to come on in. But, guys, let me go ahead and get back into this show. I just want to make sure I get all the house cleaning out, all the housekeeping out the way, so that we can go ahead, ride this ride, and have us a good old time. Because, y'all, hey, if you ain't got your drinks, you got your popcorn, your chips, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, whatever it is that you got going on at that time, make sure you get it right now, because Coach going to go ahead and get on in this thing, and it's going to cut. Oh, it's going to cut. And I hope y'all had a chance to take a look at the previous video that I did talking about the Alabama State, as far as with how they trying to make moves over there within their program. You know, they got Andrew Body, got a couple of other athletes coming into the program, looking to do some things this upcoming season in the SWAC. So make sure y'all go check that out as well. And then we had the coaching carousel. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that, because I touched on it, but I didn't really get onto it. And salute to all of the basketball players in the SIAC, as well as the SWAC, the MEAC, and the CIAA, as far as with getting out there and balling out there on the court. We moving into baseball and softball now. So y'all make sure y'all tune in, tap in, tell a friend of a friend. It's going down like that. You feel me? But check this out. Not like I said, we got that out the way. We had to make sure we got that out the way. I know. Let me take a deep breath. Okay, now we go. Here we go. Check this out. Now, like I stated before, sometimes you got people out there in this life that we live. Let me put it like that. In this life that we live, you got some folks that like you. Then you got some folks that don't really care about your tail. They're going to talk about you regardless, whatever it is that you do, good, bad, right, wrong, different, or indifferent. They don't care. It's just that, man, you know what? Just the utter viewing of seeing you just make a move. Just, man, I can't stand this sucker. Boy, he get on my nerves. Or better yet, how about this one? So-and-so don't like him, so I don't like him neither. And then somebody asks you like, well, why you don't like that person? I don't know. Johnny don't like him. So you really don't have a reason why you don't like that person. You just dislike him for whatever reason, right? I said before, I'm notorious for it. But, we'll leave that conversation for another day. But check this out. Here we go. Valentine's Day, is supposed to be full of love. You want to give love to your partner, your spouse, that significant other. Make them feel good. Man, let them know that they appreciate it. Now, I've been told that you're supposed to be on that job 365 days a year. Just because it's Valentine's Day and it's one daggone day out of the year, don't count for nothing. So I got a question. This is my own audible right here. And maybe y'all can answer for me out there. Is it possible, since you got some ladies out here as well as fellas say, hey man, I don't believe in Valentine's Day. You need to do this all year round. Can we use that same format with Christmas? I'm just asking. Somebody help me out with that. Is that possible? Ladies, is that possible for your guy? Or fellas, is it possible for your lady not to get y'all nothing for Christmas? I figured out that. Yeah, I'm on that type of time right now. I forgot. But no, wait. No, seriously. This one here caught me by storm when, I'm seeing this going back and forth as far as the situation like with Monique. The comedian Monique has been going back and forth as far as with, standing on her truth, standing up for her purpose, standing up for her why. She's been speaking out against a lot of the elite actors, comedians, so on and so forth, as far as with how they've been treating her. And there's a lot of people out here that feel that she needs to just sit down and be quiet. Just, shut up and go tell a joke. I'm paraphrasing that, but Stephen A. Smith had the audacity, the immediate gall to sit up and say that this lady was bitter. He gave her a backhand compliment, like, yeah, you're a genius, you're this, you're that. And then when he hit it with the bitter, talking your lighter's no longer shining and you're bitter. I said, oh man, no, bro, why would you want to do that, man? But the beauty of it is why I'm talking about this is because, ladies, I see you guys in the chats on social media, different blogs that you have, as well as different forms that you create as far as talking about how the man doesn't stand up for his woman. But I had to give Mr. Sidney his flowers because Mr. Sidney stood up for his lady, making sure that he was able to profess to the world exactly what was going on as far as why his wife is standing on business, as everybody like to say now, when it comes to her product in which she has to offer to the world, when it comes to her doing stand-up, as well as why she's not in shows, movies, so on and so forth. So all I'm saying is, guys, you got to understand exactly what's happening here and why people are moving in the manner in which they're moving now to get an understanding of where this lady is coming from. A lot of times when people want to stand up and speak their truth, people don't want to hear that because, again, hear that key word, truth. And when you get to telling the truth, that means you chopping down other folks that some folks might like better than you, while others might sit back and say, you know what, maybe she might have a point. And now there's a lot of folks that's starting to come to the rescue to say, you know what, Monique might have a point as far as what's going on. And people are really taking an interest in what's happening here, and they're taking a stand for her. So salute to not only her husband, Mr. Sidney, but as well as Kwame Brown and others that are out there taking a stand against some of these people that's trying to cut others down to keep them from succeeding and moving ahead. Because like I said, there's enough for us out here to do the things that we need to do. And oftentimes, we need to be educated as well as entertained. I'm just saying, right now, there's too much entertainment going on and we're not being educated. Because when I tell you later on down in this segment, later on down in the show, when I tell you about how folks ain't educated because they're so busy wanting to be entertained, oh, you're going to lose your it for real. I'm just going to say it. Yeah, you're going to lose it because it's funny how you can use a law to benefit you when you need for it to benefit you. But then you can take that same kind of law and use it against others that's trying to get that same type of benefit. You get what I'm Y'all stick around. Y'all gonna love this. Y'all gonna love this. Oh yeah, coach is jumping in this thing. But nah, like I said, another one we got here, the LeBron James situation. LeBron had the unveiling of his statue out there in front of the crypto.com arena. And there's a lot of folks that's upset with LeBron James because he didn't show up. He wasn't there for the unveiling of the statue of Kobe Bryant. Funny thing is, they're like, well, they had a game that night. He was there at the stadium. Like, guys, listen. If the man would have went, you still would have crucified him because he was there. Trying to act like he was grandstanding, trying to, insert himself into something that this was Kobe's time. So it's almost like you can't win for losing type situation for this guy. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody want to talk about who's the GOAT. I know y'all say Michael Jordan is y'all GOAT, and that's fine. But what about Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Hey, what about Robert Horry? I'm just saying. Big Shot Bob. What about Big Shot Bob? Just ask the question. But no, guys, the thing is, you got some folks out here that's upset with LeBron James because Malika Andrews, once again, wanted to insert LeBron James into the conversation when it came down to Kobe Bryant getting his statue unveiled at the crypto.com arena. And, of course, there's always some negative connotation when it comes to her and Kobe Bryant. She feels some type of way about the man as far as, the Colorado issues, and just flat out just didn't really care. Just don't really care for the guy. And the thing is, when you look, you have to understand, people's perception and taking into account their feelings of why they feel the way that they feel. And it's understood. But it just left me wondering, this man is gone. He's passed on. He had a terrible demise as far as him not being here along with his daughter, his beautiful daughter. They're not here anymore. Why are we still holding on to that and not just letting this man have grace and rest? Allow him the rest and grace that he deserves. I'm just saying. To each his own, to feel how they feel, but I'm just saying, to keep chopping down at this man is just uncalled for. Not only that, but to want to hit LeBron with the, he don't deserve no statue out in front of crypto.com arena, the Lakers arena. He hasn't done anything. Only thing he's done is won the bubble NBA championship, and he's passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for scoring all time, okay? All of those things are facts. Can't disagree with that. However, let's look at it from this standpoint. He's won championships with 3 different organizations. Is there a possibility that he may get another championship with the Lakers? We'll see. They have not made any real significant moves for them to possibly move up, that ladder for them to get the athletes into the Lakers program, for them to really do some things. Now, I found it amusing that a report came out saying that the Lakers was asked by the Golden State Warriors if they could get LeBron James in a trade, and Jeannie Buss told him, said, listen, no. And then, but if you don't believe me, you can go ask him. I ain't holding nobody. Go ask him. And basically, he's like, nah, I'm cool. But I mean, it's just, again, it's always going to be something when it comes to LeBron James. And I understand, sometimes you got that, you have to wear it, and just understand that you're going to have to navigate through life. No matter how you look at it, you're just going to have to deal with things, and no matter what you deal with them. But the one thing that got me twisted the most in the wind is this freaking NIL business. Transfer portal is going to open back up within the next couple of months after the spring football games happen. You're going to start seeing players going to jump in that portal based on how they're being utilized within the different schemes for the college football programs that they currently play within. And you're going to see some athlete names pop up again. You can be like, God, dog, this thing is just, it's expanding even further and further, because now I think there's still like another 2,000 athletes that's still in the portal, which no one has picked up. So just imagine when all of these other athletes jump in and they're looking for somewhere to go and can't find it. This NIL chasing this bag is going to have these athletes losing their freaking mind. And the reason why I'm talking about the NIL is because right now there's, I don't know, according to 247sports.com, first string athletes are commanding $100,000 from college programs, in which the coach over in Maryland gave a report talking about how he got a request from an athlete of getting $100,000, or he was jumping, for him to stay with the program, or he was jumping in the portal. Playboy, go get in the portal, because you ain't about to get nothing. You listen. These athletes got to understand. Hey, get your bag. Let me say that first. Let me say that first. Get your bag. But one thing I'm understanding with this is you have to be marketable. 1, 2, You have to, what you're offering is something that people is going to want from you. So if you're not offering anything, nobody's going to want to give you that kind of money. Third string, you want $100,000, bro, you ain't even touching the field. You might touch the field like every third game, you might get a couple touches. I can see if you was a third string back, you in there every time you get in the game, you busting it out, you putting up 100 yards, rushing the ball every daggone game, and it's just you got two other studs that's in front of you that's doing the daggone thing, and you just not getting no playing time. Okay, I can respect that, but flat out just say, hey, I need 100,000, bro. Come on, dog. You ain't ready to see that. And as parents, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. You guys might want to go ahead and sit down and talk to your athletes, because one thing's going to happen. These rules is beginning to change, and it's changing right before your eyes. Because the funny thing is, you heard me say it early on, we all want to be entertained. Y'all remember Gladiator? Are you not entertained? He kept asking everybody that. Are you not entertained? That's what everybody's on right now. Everybody want to be entertained. Nobody want to be educated. Because the sad part about it is, they're using the education to come back and kick you in your teeth with these rules that they're trying to put up against you, your athlete, to make sure either A, they are able to get, and then when they want to find a way to take away other things from institutions or take away from the athletes, they use those same daggone laws. They come back and pull them back out they behind once again. And in this instance, these jokers was able to find a way to use a law dated back in 1890. Yes, guys, the state of Tennessee and the state of Virginia sued the NCAA. Yes, they sued the NCAA for antitrust laws for violating how much an athlete can make with the through the NIL deal with their name, image, and likeness. Now, the funny thing is, like I stated before, these laws for these lawsuits was created back at a time which I'm sure none of you even remembers this act. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I recall this act being talked about in history class, and I was one of the ones that's, what's that, U.S. history, American government, which they're trying to take out of schools right now. They don't want you to learn, too much about this stuff. They want to try to streamline it for you to know this, that, and the third as far as what's going on. See, again, I'm trying to entertain while educating. Well, a lot of times we just entertain. I'm just saying. So while I'm sitting in history class, right? I'm sitting there, Coach Tom, not Coach, but the teacher Tom sitting there. Huh? Yeah. We talk about. Yeah. Well, I'm sitting there, hey, boo, hey, what's up? We gonna do lunch? Hey, what period you going to lunch? Hey, I'm gonna see you this note, check yes, check no, check maybe. That type of stuff. You know how we was back then, where and still do it to this day, where you're not really paying no attention to what's going on. You rather try to dust up a bunch of extra stuff going on around you to keep everybody else from paying attention to what's happening because you're not interested. Well, guess what? This Sherman Act, which the Sherman Act of 1890, I'll tell you what it is. It's a federal statute which prohibits activities that restrict interstate commerce and competition in the marketplace. It also outlaws any contract, conspiracy, or combination of business interests in restraint of foreign or interstate trade. leave the comments down below. But let me get back to this, because I know y'all like, Coach, what you got to say about Eddie Jordan? I'm going to get to that. I'm about to get to that, guys. Just stick with me. I had to give you all of this to lead up to that, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on here that we're not even paying no attention to, that they just breezing it on by. And we ain't catching none of it. But check this out. So they, of course, Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, state of Virginia, they were like, hey, we go sue y'all. They went to the Supreme Court and won. Well, guess what the NCAA did? Park it right there. Let me go back. Let me go back to when the NIL first jumped off, where people weren't paying attention to what was really going down. Because remember, when the NCAA kicked off NILs, right? Each state had their own set of laws that they were going to govern by as far as how these athletes were going to get paid with name, image, and likeness. Well, now they stated that you can't do business with the university. You can't use like the colors of the university. You can't use the logos of the university. You can't use none of that, right? But you got NIL collectives coming in now, and now it's starting to it's shifting the balance a little bit. Because remember, I think the athlete was the quarterback for Tennessee, University of Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he got like a massive NIL deal for him to go to that university. And everybody's been up in arms like, man, how in the heck did they kick that money off like that? There's no way in the world they was able to give that man that money. But guys, the NCAA say, okay, y'all suitors, y'all got that one. Y'all got that one off. But guess what we gonna do? We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna come back, we're gonna kick back. And what they did next was they created rules stating that student athletes can't negotiate with collectives, unable to receive NIL offers prior to making enrollment decisions. They also cannot consider the full scope of NIL related services a school might offer upon enrollment. Now, leave your thoughts below and tell me what you think about that. Because now this thing really gonna get spicy. Because think about it. If they're already looking at the collectives in the state of Tennessee and Virginia, because they went at this together using that Sherman Act law. If they're already pressing to get things moving in the direction which they need to in these states, right now, and just these two that we're talking about right now, what you think gonna happen elsewhere? Because when it hits that one of these other states get another athlete that come through there that they gave them big money for them to attend the university, that they wanted them to go to, and it was a collective that gave it to them, guess what? You're going to see the rules get changed again. Guys, this ain't no different than what's happening down in Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Mississippi and a couple other states where they're trying to take, and Texas, where they're trying to take African history studies and all these other things out of not only the universities, but the schools, K through 12, make sure that these kids are not able to learn what's going on. So I'm sitting there trying to ask myself, damn, are we really getting blindsided by all this stuff and not paying no attention to it? I mean, guys, look, coach is thinking outside the box. I mean, I'm just, again, I saw this and said, let me go ahead and share this with you guys as far as everything that's going on because, this is Blow the Whistle, right? With your host, Coach Walker. So Coach Walker sitting here blowing the whistle on this garbage. But you know what? I'm going to talk about Coach Eddie George right quick. I like what he was able to do this past signing day, this past signing period as far as with the athletes he was able to bring into the program. One thing I'll say is congratulations to him on getting a winning record of 65. The last time that happened was 2017. It's been a little while since Tennessee State was able to get that thing on the winning side of everything, and it looked like head coach Eddie George and Tennessee State Titans. But the Tennessee State Tigers are moving in the right direction with the football program, especially now with the new offensive coordinator that's coming in from North Dakota State, Coach Tyler Rowe. He's definitely going to bring that offense in there and get some things clicking. Now, with all of that being said, I looked at a couple of athletes that they got coming into the program, and I kind of like the upside of some of these athletes. Matter of fact, everybody that he brought in there is going to be able to contribute in some kind of way. And I know I've already overextended this show already. I know some of y'all are like, come on, Coach, man, God, dog, you got a lot going on, man. Tell me what's happening. But think about it, look at it from this standpoint. I'm looking at the athletes that's coming into the program for this upcoming season. And one thing I gotta say that head coach Eddie George, and there's been some other coaches, Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. over at Alabama State, and I believe head coach T.C. Taylor over at Jackson State University, as well as Coach Colsey down at FAMU and a couple other coaches. They are getting athletes. They're getting two-way athletes. Two-way athletes is they play on offensive defense. So if they can't plug them in on one side of the ball when they need them at a particular time, then they can use them on the other side of the ball as far as with making sure that they had the necessary, I know a lot of y'all don't like this word, but it is what it is, having depth on them depth charts, making sure they got the athletes in there to continue to keep competing at a high level. Because think about it, guys. You might feel you're going to go to school and be a wide receiver for a particular football program, and you're behind end up playing cornerback, and you end up getting and you get drafted to the NFL. Then what? That's your story. You're able to generate your story and move in the manner in which you need to. So you got to, salute some of these coaches that's really thinking outside the box like that, making sure that they have their athletes prepared to continue to keep competing at a high level and not get bored and say, hey, I'm going to go jump in that transfer portal. Who going to give me $100,000? It ain't going to happen too much sooner. It ain't going to happen too much longer if it's really happening like that. So y'all guys better make sure y'all have everything right and tight before you get to talking that madness about you going to get a transfer portal, because things about to get real greasy. So hear coach on that. But looking at the athletes that head coach Eddie George was able to bring into the Tennessee State football program, young man Jalen Dean transfer from Tennessee Tech. He's a wide receiver, played in 10 games, had 13 receptions for 158 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, he's going to be a nice addition to the team as far as with where they can line him up out there on the field. Depending upon matchups with as far as the plays that they may run, you might see that young man go in the slot or the wide position. So, again, you can see exactly how he's going to be used out there on the field. University of Memphis transfer quarterback Tevin Carter, who was a redshirt freshman. He saw minimum time last season. Will come into the program and definitely will look to compete to see if he can get that starting job for the Tennessee State Tigers next football season. So that's going to be something good to see, because if not, it allows him time to sit back, learn the offense, and be able to thrive in the offense as far as what Coach Roll is going to be looking for him to do out there in the field within the offense when he's put out there to go ahead and, when he's giving them keys, say, hey, you got the show, run this thing, let's go. So that's another good thing as well. The thing to keep in mind is, while Coach Eddie George lost athletes on both sides of the ball, I believe he lost the linebacker, the stud linebacker that he had. He's looking to move on and possibly play in the NFL. They did go after another linebacker to come out there and play. This young man plays middle and outside linebacker. So, and that's David Milburn, 6'1", 200 pounds, outside middle linebacker. Now, one thing I will say about him, I believe he's coming straight in from high school. That was another thing that I liked about what Coach Eddie George did as well. He didn't really get real heavy into the transfer portal. I think he more so looked at athletes that he could possibly plug and play in now that can actually be impact players right now, or at least athletes that's going to be able to go out there and give players a spell when they need for them to, when they, when they need, athlete need to come out the game for a couple of plays just to get their breath and go back in and do what they need to do. So that's a good thing as well. Like I said, that young man is 6'1", 205 pounds. So we're going to see exactly what he's going to do. Not only that, but the Tigers also got a cornerback, Jaden Coleman, who's 5'10", from Liberty Eland High School in Texas. So, like I said, Coach Eddie George not only got the transfers, but he got the youth as well. So we're going to see how they're able to get in there and build this thing up and get these recruits ready to come out there and compete in the fall, going back into the OVC to see if they can, compete and win that thing this year. Like I said before, Coach Eddie George and his coaching staff, they got a good class that they brought in there. Salute to them for that. And definitely look forward to seeing what they got going on next season. Now, I know some of you fans out there will say, well, Coach, you missed a couple of athletes. I did miss a couple of athletes as far as those to discuss. I want to go ahead and break them down in a different segment. Congratulations to head coach Eddie George, as well as offensive coordinator Coach Roll, who's coming over from North Dakota State University to become the new offensive coordinator. I think I said it already, trying to wiki wow, so forgive Coach for that one too. But I'm excited about the fact that things are beginning to fall into place for Coach George over there at Tennessee State because, again, he's looking to build this thing up for you guys. So once them season tickets open up, Tiger fans, make sure y'all get y'all behinds over there and get them season tickets. Quit playing around. There's no need that y'all should not be in there trying to fill that stadium up to let them athletes know that y'all are there supporting them. So let's make sure we get out there and do that. And even Coach going to probably have to skirt out there and try to check out a game or two and see what y'all got going on. So if you see me in the stands, don't say, dang, Coach, I thought you was just pump faking. No, I said I'm going to roll. We're going to roll. So, again, y'all make sure y'all get out there and do that. But, guys, Coach going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. But like I always like to say, be the one and lead.